Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Let's zoom in a little bit. I've got some music playing on my phone, so if it's too loud for anyone who's here live, just let me know. I'll say it again because we actually don't have anybody here yet. So let's just wait a moment till somebody comes. I pushed the time back. Sorry. We got a late start today, but we're here. We've got the masculine and feminine energies today. And I'm getting emails already. So as you can see, we have temptation. This is the masculine cards right now. So as people start coming in, we're just going to get started. So this is the masculine energies for... shout out to my Halloween lovers, first day of October. For the first week of October, maybe for some of you, it's going to trickle into the following weeks as well. Doesn't mean it's going to happen instantly this week. It can, and it also can trickle into the next weeks as well. Or trusting your intuition, it just may not. Some of this may not resonate with you at all. It may, or it may not happen right now. But it just could trickle out slowly for you. So again, let's get into the masculine energies. First card we have is temptation. These are the challenges that the masculines are dealing with. I pulled a series of cards earlier and I reshuffled them because I felt like some of them were for me. But actually, a couple of these cards for the masculine I just got again. Two out of three of these cards I got again. So again, it looks like the masculine energies are going to be dealing with some temptation this week. This could be inner and outer. I think it all centers on the outer part as well, but it resonates on the inner. You see something, you want something, okay? Or maybe, the grass seems greener on the other side always. But I'm getting a sense that this is part of that ego process taking place here. This is about slaying the ego. So whatever temptations you're going to be dealing with now, again, this, like I said, it doesn't mean it's going to happen this week. It can, but it's probably already happening. You're probably already experiencing certain things, or it may come a little later. But this is about the ego right now. We're starting a new season. We just started a new month today. So, there's a lot of things happening, okay? And this is also part of, I feel like, that destruction as well. As we get nearer to the end of the year, this is the whole process of closing out certain aspects. Now, for some of us, sometimes we hear that, closing out or getting rid of, we get a little bit, our sensitivity gets heightened. We go, oh, what does that mean? But, this, whatever it is, it's not as serious as we make it out to be. This is about slaying the ego. This is that fear aspect coming in. Rightfully, it's natural for you to be concerned because it's something that you don't know yet. Something that what am I being tempted by, or is this going to harm me? But this is all part of that ego. This could also be things not directly dealing with you, but from I got a sense of a certain events that could be happening. Look, we're all connected as well, so it could not. It's probably. There's a possibility it's not directly with you, but if it's happening in the world, if it's happening in the world events, it does affect you because we're all connected. We're all related to one another, as in we're all here sharing certain resources, certain aspects of the earth, of our community. So if one thing happens over there, we're going to feel it most likely here, whether physically or emotionally. Okay, so this is going to be a process. So whatever you're being tempted by, whatever is frustrating you, whatever you may feel affected by, remember, this is the ego. This is a good time for you to practice slaying the ego. I mean, look, what I'm telling you now is what I've been experiencing, what a lot of you have been experiencing. Okay, whatever challenges I've been going through or am going through right now. This is also a part of the ego process, the ego slaying, which is that fear. Why am I affected by this? Why is this affecting me? Is it natural to be affected by this? If I'm working to slay the ego, how do I rise above that? How do I get how do I get through this? The whole process of Should I be getting through it? Should I experience this? And that's all a part of it. That kind of solving the puzzle. And each and every one of us has a slightly different puzzle where the pieces fit a different way, okay? Depending on our own path. Okay, and last but not least for the masculine energies is this earthbound card here. Again, I do definitely sense there's some kind of world events. It doesn't mean it's catastrophic or anything. It's just events in the world. They're happening right now. Some are small steps to things that could affect all of us. And this is about living in two worlds. Okay, I really feel like it's living in two worlds. Which world do you want to live in? Is it about living in a fear-based world, a world ruled by ego? Or this is about a world where ego does not rule. Ego plays only a small part in allowing us to, use our reasoning and logic to a safe and healthy way to create survival and it's to create life. As in, certain survival skills that you need the ego for. I'm going to work to live. I'm going to earn money. I'm going to do this, do that in a reasonable way, but not in a fear-based way. That allow you to hoard all your money and not share it with other people. Not being ruled by your ego where you have a certain access to resources, but you're not sharing it with anyone. That you're living in fear. So there's a difference between these two worlds here. And the role that the role that our fears play. And ultimately, I think in these two worlds, only one world can survive. Okay, so, and that could be your inner world as well. We've all experienced or witnessed somebody who has been living in a fear-based world where it can reflect in their household, where it's just clamored with stuff that they don't want to let go of. And you can see that's destroying their environment, okay? So just think about that. Just ponder on that, okay? Again, this is not going to come and hit everybody or enter your world all at once. This is something that you're probably already experiencing or that you will be seeing a little bit of over the past few weeks, or the next few weeks, or even the next 4 months, okay? 2 months. Sorry about that. We have 2 months left. Or 3 months, I should say, 10, 11, 12. Let's go into the feminine cards here. This is an interesting set for the feminine. We've got some pretty esoteric readings here. This is a card about Maya. Now, if you're not familiar with Eastern spirituality and philosophy, Maya is that web spinner, that aspect that creates certain illusions that we may see, that we may experience. So you can see this Maya, how she spins. Again, we have that world in the background, Earth. So there's something definitely in our world, and definitely I feel like in the larger aspect, our actual world, that is unfolding. Let's go into the other cards here. The next card I got for clarification was solar return. After that, we've got centering the present, and after that, we've got purification. Let me zoom out a little bit here. Purification. Now, there's a relationship to me between the solar return and the centering in the present. There's an eclipse here for the solar return, but I realize there's also a black hole. There's also the black sun. For me, there's a certain aspect of this that came out to me of not allowing something to suck your attention away. Maybe something that the aspect of a black hole, some distractions, some kind of thing over here that's trying to get your attention that is really not that important. That's actually just distracting you from the present moment about your life. And again, this present moment is a Sri Yantra. This is a magnetic force, a yantra, a spiritual technology that is enlightening you, that is allowing you to ascend. So whatever that is distracting you needs to be let go of, because it's taking you away from the present moment. And it's not allowing for purification. And this is about puja, purification, worship. This is not allowing for a rising in you, an ascension in you. And this also could be causing for a detoxification to help with this process here, purifying. So it could be friends taking you away, distracting you. It could be certain events that could happen in your life or in your outer world that could happen. This just seems to be a distraction. Okay. I'm also getting just a sense of solar return, some kind of enlightenment, some kind of opening here, or a sign, okay? So just pay attention to these things, okay? Just be open to this, all right? Have faith in the process. And now if anything seems a little bit vague to you still, just let it resonate. You don't need to figure it out, and just let it unfold, okay? And last but not least, I want to center on this present card here, this middle card, which is centering on the present. Okay. There's also a lunar aspect. We just completed a new moon on the 28th of September, and this is still in effect right now. Okay, this is challenging our egos. We got the ego card. This is challenging our shadow aspects, exposing them. I've been heavily challenged. So if you're being challenged, it's also natural. Certain aspects are coming in your dream state, you know. Especially if you've been experiencing, like me, a lot of dreams lately. Okay, let's go into, last but not least, I want to go into the masculine feminine card here. The harmony card. I want to keep this card in reverse. This is about soma. Soma is that nectar, that aspect that comes into our consciousness, our higher chakras, our higher energy sources, energy centers. And it allows for an enlightenment, an ascension within you, a rising within you. And I feel like I need to keep it in reverse because of this dark aspect of the mushroom stem. There's a saying that the darkest part of the candle is just underneath its fire. Okay? But I also read something that the whole purpose of humanity, of achieving the supreme life on earth, of your victory of becoming a human, is the transmutation from darkness to light, from ignorance to knowledge to wisdom, from not knowing, unknowing to knowing. And you see this piece of, it looks like this piece of ice. You know, I also feel like this is about our environment, our world. A lot of the consciousness here needs to come out of this darkness fast. I know we've been hearing that for a long time, but for me, it's now more than ever. Because, you know, I keep thinking about like, those environments like you see in Blade Runner, where those cities are like, you know, they're not even living on the ground. They're like elevated in earth, or they're elevated in the sky now. You know, and there's smog centered around that. You know, that's like a dystopian future, but I don't even think anybody could get to that level. I mean, you'd be so polluted living in that environment. The lifespan would be cut short by, I think, 50 years. Would you even want to live in a future like that, where you're living all in skyscrapers in the air, and there's smog up in these giant skyscrapers that you're living in now, and the world below where we used to live is completely abandoned? You know, I'm sure probably humanity would adapt to that, but in a very unhealthy manner, and also a slave manner. So this is about us reaching that soma for ourselves and for our world. And this is about our connection to our. I listened to this master speak on an audio last night, and he said, "Is not I can't. I'm paraphrasing. Is not. Isn't it so that when we ignore nature, we're also ignoring ourselves? When we're mistreating nature, we're also mistreating ourselves." And a lot of people have naturally, because of how they've been raised, let's say in a city environment, which is man-made, it's the construction of the mind. You're naturally cut off from nature. Sure, you have trees planted, but that's it. There's energy in nature. There's power. There's healing on ways that you're not even conscious of. I'm sure you all feel when you leave the city and you go to a nice campground, you feel relieved. Then when you come back to the city, you feel that energy of like, oh, we're going back to the city now. That's that subtle awareness that is hitting you, that you may not feel when you're in the city. You just may feel exhausted or kind of tired or drained, but you're not sometimes aware of what's draining you. The noise pollution, the sirens all the time, the helicopters, the people, the traffic. It all takes effect. So this is about turning this card right side up. Okay? For ourselves and for our world. Okay? Our world also creates our harmony. We have to work sometimes twice as hard when we're living in a bad environment to gain peace, right? And it would make things a lot easier if our world were gaining rebalance, was on the way to a perfect harmony like we ourselves are working towards. Okay, so just take that. We have to keep working towards this. From darkness to light, from ignorance to knowledge, from unknowing to knowing. Okay? That's it for the masculine feminine transmission, guys. Muse Philomena, she needs to be in nature every day. You're in nature more than most of us, Philomena. She lives in a beautiful area in Germany. Keep being in nature. We need people like you communicating with the spirits. Bridges for humanity to the nature spirits, Philomena. Thank you guys for being here. Thanks for everyone coming later. It's October 1st. Any Halloween, Samhain, All Souls Day celebrators, we're finally here, month of October. This is also about the spirits, the ancestors. I work to light a candle on All Hallows Eve, October night. You can light a candle. Talk about going from darkness to light. It shines a light and a path for those spirits who are maybe wandering around to have a pathway. Like an airplane sees the landing strip below that's lit. You can light a candle during those days, or even this whole month. This is when the veil is the most thin, to light a way for those ancestors who may be wandering around, who need help. But that's it for me, guys. More to come next week. Thanks for being here. See you guys all soon. Enjoy October. Take care of yourselves. Take care of the earth. You're welcome, Philomena. You're welcome, everybody. Bye. See you soon.